We're expecting a very big yes vote. I think we'll easily break the thresholds of the government, and I would expect to get 90% excess of that voting in favour. We always say, the objective is not to have a strike, it's to reach a settlement. But the background to this is that the company have made record profits for the second year running, £758 million. They've paid £400 million to shareholders. And at the same time as the CEO and the board have decided to impose a 2% pay increase on workers, they're getting bonuses in the region of £140,000. So by any level of fairness, this is completely unacceptable, and they're treating the workforce with utter contempt.
What is it that you want?
We want a good settlement. We want a settlement that protects our members against the current cost of living crisis, that rewards their efforts during the pandemic. These were key workers, done a fantastic job to keep this company going. And, you know, what they've put on the table at the moment is unacceptable. In terms of the level of that, I hear these debates about, you know, unions are asking for figures that are going to spiral inflation. You know, it's not true. You know, workers aren't going to get 12, 13, 14% pay rises. But there's a huge gap between what's on offer here and what these companies can afford. And we're going to get the very best deal we can for our members.
What do you want?
Well, I've just told you what we want. I'm not here negotiating.
No, you know, no. Let me say, the doctors want told 30% over 5 years. We know that barristers want 25%. We have other percentage figures as well. Why is it not reasonable to ask you?
Well, because what I'm saying is, you know, that's a matter for negotiation. And our members will back the union. We want to match inflation if we can achieve that. But, you know, I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, the company keeps saying that they've offered 5.5%. Well, that's not true. They've imposed 2%. 5.5% is never going to be acceptable. These are matters for negotiation. The company has got to come to the table with a substantially improved offer, and they can afford it.
Would 11% be enough? I mean, because that's what we're expecting inflation to be at. Well, so it would just be, if I could finish my question, if I may finish my question. Let me just finish my question,
it would certainly be something that we'd go back and talk to our members about, wouldn't it?
OK, but that would just be standing still.
Well, look, we understand the realities of the situation, but employers need to understand that, you know, you can't carry on with this agenda of levelling down the workforce. And it's happening not just in Royal Mail, it's happening in other industries where we represent members right across the UK. And it is a levelling down agenda. And I think it's so unfair at the moment that every time workers decide to do something about the situation and they come together in their collective strength, that somehow we're in the wrong. And we're not. And I don't think people are going to put up with the unfairness that's going on, with the imbalance of power and wealth that permeates the world of work, the economy, and all of the growing inequalities in society. I think the tide is turning.
How do you feel about coordinated strike action?
Well, look, I think you do whatever is necessary to increase the pressure on the employer and to achieve the best deal. But at the end of it, you know, our focus will be on our dispute. What is happening is coordination. There's a campaign that's running alongside this. It's going to continue beyond these particular pay disputes that are taking place across the UK at the moment. And that's called a campaign for a new deal for workers and a new social settlement in the UK.
What's that mean?
It's being led by trade unions.
What does it mean?
It means shifting the balance of forces in the world of work. So it means starting to get proper jobs, you know, not relying on these insecure employment models that are dragging the whole nation down. It means levelling up, creating the race to the top. It's the real levelling up agenda. It means empowering workers to have more say over how their companies are run. It's also got a social element to it, so we want to kind of make sure that we rebuild the services, start looking after the workers. There's so much money that keeps being spoken about by governments, politicians from all persuasions, about this is what you've got to put in. We want to see some of that money coming back to ordinary working people. They deserve it. They're what keeps the economy going. And, you know, we're going to run this campaign. So, you know, I just want to make this point. I keep hearing the summer of discontent.
Yeah, well, I wasn't going to ask you about that.
We're going beyond the summer.
I was about to ask you what your strike action would look like. Because sadly, we're almost out of time.
Our strike action would obviously affect all of the services in Royal Mail. We've got a similar ballots, the results of which will be announced on Thursday in British Telecom, various parts of British Telecom. It'll be the first time that we've had ballots for strike action across the whole of the membership that we pretty much represent. So, yeah, it's going to have an impact. But I repeat, our objective is to reach a settlement, not have a strike.
OK, good to talk to you. Thanks very much indeed for coming in. Much appreciated.